And here is the MVP of the Prep Baseball Report feature game, Xander Schmitt out of Lafayette High School in Missouri. Xander, man, congratulations and thanks for the time.
Thank you for having me.
You were a perfect 7 for 7 at the plate during the feature games with 4 doubles, 2 walks, 5 stolen bases, representing Missouri. How locked in were you during those 3 games?
It was pretty intense. After the first game, going 2 for 2, I felt really good, and I just kind of wanted to repeat the same swing and everything that was going on in that game, and it kind of worked out for me the next 2 games.
You know you're going to get challenged by pitchers. I mean, everybody's goal there with hundreds of college coaches watching is to go out and show out. What was your plan at the plate? And you mentioned the swing being good that first game, but did your plan change at all during the course of those games?
My plan really at the plate was just don't get behind in the count or to 2 strikes and see a fastball, just hit it as hard as it can.
Yeah, I know a lot of those pitchers. I mean, everybody wants to light up that radar gun. So were you looking fastball with the anticipation that I'm probably not going to see a ton of spin out of these guys?
Yes, I was.
I know you also showed out in the showcase. Exit velocities came close to 100. The pop times as a catcher were between 188 and 195. And for people looking for a frame of reference and not in the know, those would be in the top 20 in MLB this season based on average pop times. Some guys kind of look at themselves as gamers. Some guys live for that showcase environment. How did you approach the showcase element of the future games?
I kind of approached it just do your thing, and whatever you do is kind of how the week will turn out. And if you do good, you'll do good during the week, and it's kind of what happened.
I know it's an interesting environment for guys, especially when you come and represent your state. You know a lot of these kids, but most of the time you don't get a chance to play with them. So what was that opportunity like for you guys to come together and represent Missouri, have that across your chest, and be able to be with some guys that maybe you hadn't been able to call teammates in the past?
It was actually really fun meeting all the new players that you've heard on paper and stuff, and getting to play with them and meeting a lot of new friends and getting super close with them.
We've talked about the amount of college coaches that are there. Certainly that creates a lot of pressure. How are you able to kind of compartmentalize that and just focus on your game and not necessarily everything that goes into being a part of this event?
Well, when I was 13, 14, I came down to the junior future games both of those years, and I kind of stayed and watched the older guys when all the scouts were watching them and stuff. So that kind of helped me know what to expect a little bit.
Did you talk to any of the guys that were on those older Missouri teams about it, or was it just kind of watching and kind of picking up on the way things worked?
It was kind of just watching, picking up.
If schools didn't know who Xander Schmitt is before, they obviously know who you are now. What ultimately is that school that gets your commitment going to get from you as a player?
A good leader from behind the plate, someone who always wants the ball in their hand, and a good hitter who can hit in any situation.
One interesting piece that I just obviously going off of you as a catcher there, you're working with so many pitchers at an event like the Future Games for the first time. How are you able to kind of work with a pitcher very quickly and pick up on tendencies and kind of help him through, navigating lineups like those that are going to be so intense?
It was actually kind of difficult at the beginning. Usually the first hitter, we were a little off, but after that, we kind of just clicked, and they kind of just trusted me, and I trusted them to throw strikes to me.
Well, certainly a big part of being a catcher is that leader. Xander, man, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Congrats on an impressive feature games. Wishing you the best of luck going forward.
Thank you so much.